রোহিঙ্গা ক্যাম্প ঘুরে আসার অভিজ্ঞতা ও পর্যবেক্ষণ সম্পর্কে জানাচ্ছেন ইউনিসেফের শুভেচ্ছা দূত অভিনেত্রী প্রিয়াঙ্কা চোপড়া। আমরা সরাসরি চলে যাচ্ছি সে সংবাদ সম্মেলনে।
सिर्फ एक चीज आती है मुझे, तुम्हार नाम की? Because I ask the little children that question all the time. That's the only thing I know. Tomar naam ki? And Rasgulla. Sabse important. This has been one of my most life-changing trips that I have made along with UNICEF. I've had the incredible good fortune of working and being associated with UNICEF, which is an organization that doesn't care about the history, the geography, the physicality, anything of a child except the fact that it's a child. And every child deserves a future, and every child deserves an opportunity to contribute to humanity. And I think that I find myself extremely privileged that I can take UNICEF's message to the world and actually be a means to an end. When I went to the Rohingya camps, and now I have spent about 4 days in Cox's Bazar, and I've also been to refugee camps, other refugee camps around the world. And the one thing that I take back here, I spent a lot of time with very young children, 5, 7, 8. I'll tell you a few stories. Okay. I'll tell you a few stories. There was a 7-year-old child. They were all sitting and drawing, like with colors in this one learning center that UNICEF has created in the middle of these camps. And I'm sure you all know what these camps look like more than me, how unstable they are, how the conditions are extremely difficult, and especially now with the monsoon coming up, it's very difficult that any of those structures will survive. So these children, they were drawing. So I went and asked, can I see some of your drawings? So I picked up the drawing book, and I was looking back at the drawings that he had done before. When they arrived into Cox's Bazar, which was about August, September last year, when the big influx of refugees from Myanmar came into Bangladesh, him and his family had walked for about 15 days, and all his drawings were children playing soccer on a football field and helicopters spraying bullets at them, rocket launchers, and these are 5, 6-year-old children. Rocket launchers being launched at their homes. Heads lying separate, bodies lying separate, hands lying separate. Now these are children at 5, 6, 7. That's what they remember. That's what they know. I had the incredible opportunity and good fortune of meeting Honorable Prime Minister today, the Honorable Prime Minister of Bangladesh today, and we spent a lot of time talking about this, and I really have to applaud the government of Bangladesh, who has opened up their borders and allowed so many refugees to come in, almost 1 million people that Bangladesh has allowed inside, just because of humanity. And humanity is what this world needs the most. I don't care about differences anymore. When you look at, and now that I have been to 2 of the biggest refugee camps in the world, one which was in Jordan, where Syrian refugees lived for about 7 years now, and then now to the Rohingya camps in Cox's Bazar, the only thing I can see is a generation of children that will not have education, that will be illiterate, that will be vulnerable to violence, people putting guns in their hands instead of pens. What will happen to the world when there's a huge generation of children that become vulnerable to violence? The world is already in a precarious place. Look at the amount of violence that is happening around the world. Do we need any more hatred? Do we need any more of that? To me, as a global community, the message that I want to take from these camps is that refugee children are the world's responsibility, because they don't have anywhere to go. They don't have anything to call their own. But if we lose these children, then whatever happens to the world is on us. Let me ask you all a question. How many of you have kids? Please raise your hands. No, nobody has kids over there at the back? That's half the room, almost. More than half the room. I don't, not yet. But that's a very smart question. Sir, did you ask me if I have children? If I have children? Oh, you're not aware that I don't have children? All the children that I work with are my children. How about that? All right, good to know. How many do you have? You have two. Would you, if something like this happened to our children, which is possible, countries are being bombed, people are being killed for no reason. If that happened to your children, will you want someone to help them? That's the same question. A child is a child. It doesn't matter where they come from, where they're going, what their parents did, what their religion is, which country they come from. A child is a child, and every child born onto this earth is the responsibility of the globe and privileged global citizens like us. So the reason why I take these trips is to spread this message to the world, to be a little compassionate, to think about our future and the future of our children through the eyes of these kids. They have nothing. The basic things that a child needs to not have a stunted development: food, clean water, so that they don't get cholera or diarrhea or die because of malnutrition. Shelter during monsoons and cyclones. You know how many cyclone shelters you have in Bangladesh, because we know what happens during monsoon season. I'm from India. I know what happens. What happens to those shacks and those makeshift homes? Just the compassion in your heart. This is not the choice of the kids. Nothing is the choice of the children. And for me, that is my biggest advocacy, is that please open your hearts and your compassion towards the kids. What was really wonderful to see, I was telling you the story, and this boy's name is Mansoor Ali, by the way. He was 7 years old, who was drawing these drawings of, soccer fields being bombed and bullets being sprayed at them. After 6 months of spending time with UNICEF's learning centers, with the teachers that spend time in teaching them English, maths, Burmese, basic education so that they can maybe stand on their own feet a little bit. 6 months later, his drawings were Bangladesh. His drawings were sunshine, greenery, thatched roofs, teachers. And that just happened in 6 months, because there was humanity shown to them. And that's what's important for refugee children around the world. In 1 month, World Refugee Day happens. And I would really, really like to implore the world to have a little bit of compassion for people who don't have anything. That's all that it is. God has given us, many of us, a lot. My mother used to always tell me, actually I'll make the point like that no matter where you are in the world, no matter how badly you are off, no matter how in the worst circumstances that you're in, someone is worse off than you in the world. And if we remember that, there is such a sense of balance that will come to us. And that's all that I'm trying to do. I've had an incredibly heart-wrenching trip, and at the same time an extremely inspiring trip. To see the way the government of Bangladesh has opened up its hearts towards these refugee children and towards these refugees was incredible to see. The spirit of these young children, how strong they are, how tough they are, how much fun they have with me. We played lots of games. I had teaming by the children. I was dancing with them. I witnessed one of the classes. I played with them, and the one thing I really looked back were their shiny eyes and their smiles, and just to see a child happy can make any one of us really happy. And I just think that is an extremely wonderful thing, that all the organizations that have come together on field, especially UNICEF, have done such incredible work. And there's so much more to be done, which is why we are all here, asking before the monsoons to please donate your time, your money, your compassion. I know we all have. And now it's just the responsibility of the world to also do that. That's it. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ms. Priyanka Chopra, for your exceedingly inspirational words and your personal recollection. I now have the pleasure to invite Mr. Jean-Jacques Simon to speak a few words.
Being here, all of you, is very welcoming and very nice for you to.
দর্শক, রাজধানীর হোটেল লা মেরিডিয়ানে গত 4 দিন রোহিঙ্গা ক্যাম্প পরিদর্শন করার নিজের অভিজ্ঞতা এবং পর্যবেক্ষণ সম্পর্কে জানাচ্ছিলেন ইউনিসেফের শুভেচ্ছাদূত এবং বলিউডের জনপ্রিয় অভিনেত্রী প্রিয়াঙ্কা চোপড়া, এবং তিনি ধন্যবাদ জানিয়েছেন বাংলাদেশের প্রধানমন্ত্রীকে নিজেদের দরজা খুলে দেওয়ার জন্য। তাছাড়াও তিনি সামনের বর্ষা মৌসুমে রোহিঙ্গা শিশুদের জন্য উদ্বেগ জানিয়েছেন এবং বিশ্ববাসীর প্রতি এই সংকট নিরসনে সবার জোরালো অবস্থান আরও একবার ব্যক্ত করেছেন তিনি।